Kanye West has been a household name for quite a long time now. Can you believe that he's been in our lives for so long? We've had nearly 20 years of watching Kanye in the spotlight. It seems that everyone has a different opinion about Yeezy, but that doesn't change the fact that he has quite a fat wallet. Stick around until the end to find out why Kanye might lose it all if he isn't careful. Before we get started, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to The Richest by clicking on that lovely red subscribe button. If this is your first time with us, then be sure to check out our community tab to make some new friends. Now this is how Kanye West spends his millions. Love him or hate him, Kanye West has become one of the most massive music superstars out there. Whether he's interrupting Taylor Swift while she's getting an award or making offensive comments on his Twitter feed, he continues to make a big splash in our lives. Even if you don't listen to rap, you know who Kanye is. He's been spoofed countless times on shows like South Park, and he will continue to make bold statements that will leave him vulnerable to further ridicule. Yet, no matter how much you love or despise him, joke about him, and try to forget about him, he will always have a ridiculous amount of money. We're going to take a closer look at how the rapper spends his millions. The results just might surprise you. Kanye West was born in Atlanta, Georgia, and later moved to Chicago when he was 3 years old after his parents divorced. When he was just 5 years old, he was writing poetry and showed that he had an affinity for the arts. When he was in the 3rd grade, he started rapping before eventually composing music in 7th grade. He was finally able to persuade his mother to pay for studio time so that he could record a song called Green Eggs and Ham. Even in the 7th grade, he was reportedly selling his music compositions to other artists. Kanye eventually developed a close friendship with DJ No ID, who became his mentor. Kanye learned how to program and sample beats from No ID, and he received his first sampler at age 15. Kanye eventually got a scholarship to the American Academy of Art in 1997 before eventually transferring to Chicago State to study English. But because school interfered with his music, he dropped out when he was 20 years old. Kanye learned quickly that the path to stardom was not going to be an easy one. He started out producing music for other artists. For example, one of Foxy Brown's songs on her album China Doll was produced by Kanye. And did you know that he was the one who made Chipmunk Soul a thing? If you're not sure what that is, if you've ever heard sped-up audio samples in a rap song, that is what Kanye perfected. He also produced the song This Can't Be Life for Jay-Z's 2000 album The Dynasty Roc-A-Fella. He even produced 4 songs on Jay-Z's album The Blueprint, which is considered to be one of the greatest rap albums of all time. He produced music for the likes of Beyoncé and Alicia Keys, too. Because Kanye wasn't much of a gangsta, since he grew up in the middle class and wore polos and Gucci loafers, he wasn't taken seriously as a rapper. Even when Kanye would beg Jay-Z's label, Roc-A-Fella Records, to give him a shot, Jay-Z didn't think that Kanye understood rap culture and paying his dues. Kanye would get the door slammed in his face numerous times as he tried to get started. He eventually got signed by Roc-A-Fella in 2002, but mainly so that he could be kept as a producer. On his way home one day in October 2002, Kanye got into a head-on collision that shattered his jaw. He had to have his jaw wired shut. It was then that he wrote and recorded the song Through the Wire. After his debut album The College Dropout was leaked, Kanye used his own money to make the album better and even paid top dollar for a gospel choir and better orchestrations. This would be the first time we would see him investing hefty cash into his career. Music videos are a huge area where Kanye spends his millions. In 2010, he made a 34-minute video for the song Runaway, which included elaborate sets, driving a Lambo, running through the woods, and more. Given that filming takes a long time for even a 5-minute song, you can imagine how long a 34-minute video took to make. But that's not his only pricey investment for a music video. In 2016, he spent about $750,000 for the wax figures featured in the video Famous, for which he received a lot of controversy. But even that isn't even his most expensive purchase. He has never wanted to put a price on his artistry, and that was never more true than for his video for Touch the Sky. Apparently, he hated the video that Def Jam paid for, so he decided to pay for his own video. All in all, the music video for Touch the Sky cost about $1 million to make. Kanye invested about $2 million into his second album, Late Registration, which took over a year to create. In 2004, Kanye founded his own record label called Good Music. It didn't take long for Kanye to start signing on incredible artists like John Legend, Common, and Big Sean. While Kanye was spending a considerable amount of money on these artists, given his talents as a music producer, it didn't take long for him to see a turnaround on his investment. For example, he once paid $85,000 to use a photo of Whitney Houston's bathroom for Pusha T's album cover. Between having his own label and producing his own music, he would likely continue to shell out his own cash into his career. Given his success, it doesn't seem to take him long to make that money back. Now that we know Kanye's origins of his success, what is he doing with all that money? As we all know, Kanye is married to the ever-famous Kim Kardashian. Some people saw the couple as an odd pairing, while others thought it was a match made in heaven. When Kanye proposed to Kim in 2013, he proposed with a 15-carat diamond ring designed by Lauren Schwartz. A few years later, Kanye gifted Kim with a 20-carat ring, which cost almost $4 million. Unfortunately, the latter seemed to be a casualty of Kim's robbery in Paris. However, it looks like Kanye likes to spoil his wife with lavish gifts and a luxurious lifestyle. Kim also does well on her own financially, so you can imagine just how much money there is between the two of them. There's reportedly about $350 million between the husband and wife, which is pretty incredible. Speaking of lavish gifts, Kanye also bought Kim a neon lime Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon that goes for about $240,000. He bought it so that Kim could match her sister Kylie's car. There's also a rumor that Kanye bought a $1 million armored car for Kim after North was born, which was for their protection. Kim isn't the only recipient of Kanye's generosity. He recently bought a Bentley for Sci-Hi de Prince. These two haven't had the smoothest history in terms of friendship and working together. Sci-Hi de Prince is one of the most valuable artists for good, and his lyric skills are utilized across the board. So perhaps Kanye was trying to butter him up a bit and convince him to stay. What is rather impressive is that Kanye has proven himself to be quite the businessman. We're not talking about just in the music industry, but in stocks too. He bought about $100,000 worth of stocks in companies like Disney, Netflix, Apple, and Adidas. He actually bought the stocks as a gift for Kim. Just a few months after he purchased the stocks, they were up by 40%. This proves that Kanye has a good eye for stocks and what has potential for growth. Sure, it's not like buying shoes, fancy cars, nice clothes, or lavish vacations, but this is the perfect example of spending money to make money. In addition to his music work, Kanye also has his own fashion line, appropriately titled Yeezy. Granted, one could buy a few items of clothing from the Yeezy line and easily hit a bill of 4 figures. Let's just say that if you want to enjoy his clothes, you have to be ready to drop over $800 for a jacket. While his fashion line might not be wildly popular, there seems to be some traction thanks to Instagram. His designs have caught the attention of famous models like Karlie Kloss, plus his shoe line always sells out quickly. As if Kanye isn't already busy enough, he's also investing money into making his own movie. He's the producer of the movie Honor Up. Honor Up was released in early 2018, and while it didn't get the greatest reviews, it was still another added accomplishment to Kanye's growing list. If you check out his IMDb page, you'll see that he's produced well over a dozen video shorts for other rappers as well as himself. He seems to have a knack for having a good eye with the camera. However, is Kanye spending too much money? In 2016, Kanye shocked the world when he tweeted that he was $53 million in debt. Between investing money in his music, films, record label, and more, it seems that he bit off more than he could chew. But since he's still living a very luxurious life with his family and his record label seems to be doing well, he actually might just be fine bank-wise. He must think positively about what the return was on the $53 million he spent and how it boosted his career in the long run. If you weren't a fan of Kanye West before, you might want to consider being his best friend, especially if you have money troubles. The man has more money than most these days. Between his music empire and his other ambitious projects, there is a constant paycheck hitting his bank account. Of course, he uses that money to enjoy the life of the rich and famous, spoil his wife and children, treat his friends on occasion, and so much more. Kanye is definitely enjoying the fruits of his labor. He's come a long way from that preteen recording of Green Eggs and Ham to the mega superstar that he is today. What do you think of how Kanye West spends his millions? Do you think he needs a financial advisor? Tell us all about it in the comments below. Before you go, be sure to give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome videos. See you next time!